Urgent. Is your March check late? Your money is on the line. If you are waiting for your Social Security, SSDI, or SSI deposit this March, you are facing a massive scheduling trap that could leave your bank account empty when you need it most. The 2026 payment calendar has just been hit with a double payment glitch that is catching millions of seniors completely off guard. If you don't know your exact birth date window, you could be waiting weeks longer than your neighbors for your cost of living increase. The Social Security Administration has officially locked in the March and April dates, and the maximum retirement benefit has officially surged to $5,181. But here is the terrifying reality. Because of the way April 1st falls, your SSI payment is moving, and if you aren't prepared for the 15-day gap, you will be short on rent. We have the internal breakdown of the staggered Wednesday schedule and the exact day your increased check is guaranteed to land. Are you in the group getting paid on the 11th, 18th, or 25th? We are revealing the leaked 2026 payment grid right now, so you can stop guessing and start planning. Your financial security depends on these dates. Don't let a calendar oversight cost you your peace of mind. Critical update. Don't let the government hold your money a second longer. Smash the like button right now to lock in these alerts and help us spread this urgent warning to every recipient in America. Now that you understand the sheer magnitude of what is happening with the Social Security Administration this month, we have to go deeper into the specific mechanics of the 2026 payment grid because the calendar for March and April is unlike anything we have seen in recent history. You see, the way the Wednesdays fall this year has created a perfect storm for scheduling confusion that could leave your bank account bone dry if you are budgeting based on last year's timing. We are looking at a situation where the typical flow of deposits is being interrupted by federal holiday observances and technical processing windows that the SSA rarely discusses in their public brochures. It is absolutely vital that you stay with me through every single paragraph of this breakdown because a single day's difference in a deposit can be the difference between a cleared rent check and a late fee that eats into your hard-earned cost of living adjustment. We are starting with the reality of the $5,181 maximum benefit, because while that number sounds incredible on a headline, the vast majority of people watching this are wondering where their specific increase went. The 2.8% COLA for 2026 was designed to combat the lingering inflation we've seen in energy and healthcare. But if your check hasn't moved yet, there is a technical reason involving your birth date and your initial filing year. You have to realize that the Social Security Administration operates on a legacy computer system that processes payments in massive batches based on specific numerical triggers. For those of you born between the 1st and the 10th of the month, you are the first wave beneficiaries, and your March payment is already slated for the second Wednesday of the month. However, if you are an SSI recipient, you are dealing with a completely different animal because the April 1st payment is actually being pulled forward into the end of March due to a weekend overlap. This creates the illusion of a double payment in March, but I am warning you right now, do not spend that second check as a bonus. That money is intended to cover your entire month of April, and if you blow it early, you will be facing a massive 21-day gap where no money is coming into your household. The anxiety surrounding these dates is real, and it is fueled by the fact that the SSA has been sending out cryptic notices about payment integrity and updated verification protocols. What this really means in plain English is that they are tightening the screws on who gets their money and when. If you have recently changed your direct deposit information or moved to a new address without updating your My Social Security account, your March check is at high risk of being flagged for a security hold. We are seeing an unprecedented number of reports from recipients who say their payment pending status has disappeared from the portal. This is why you must understand the Wednesday rule perfectly. If your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, your money arrives on the third Wednesday, which is March 18th. If you are in the final group, born between the 21st and the 31st, you aren't seeing a dime until March 25th. That is a long time to wait when bills are piling up at the beginning of the month, which is why thousands of people are calling the SSA offices and clogging up the phone lines. Moving into April 2026, the situation becomes even more complex because we are entering a quarter where the SSA traditionally performs its earnings test reviews. For those of you who are still working part-time while collecting benefits, April is the month where your checks might suddenly be adjusted downward if you exceeded the 2025 earnings limit. The current limit for those under full retirement age is a major sticking point, and the SSA is using new automated reporting tools to cross-reference your payroll data faster than ever before. This means that the surprise overpayment notices are going to be hitting mailboxes right alongside the April payment schedule. You need to be looking at your April 15th and April 22nd dates with extreme caution. If your check arrives and the amount is even $1 less than your March payment, you need to immediately look for the administrative code on your statement. Most people ignore these letters until it's too late, but in 2026, the window to appeal a benefit reduction has been shortened, and the burden of proof is shifting onto the recipient. Let's talk about the psychological impact of these staggered dates because it truly affects how you live your life. When you see neighbors or friends getting their checks a full 2 weeks before you do, it creates a sense of panic that the system has forgotten you. But the system hasn't forgotten. It is just slow, methodical, and incredibly rigid. The 2026 schedule was built to maximize the SSA's interest-bearing accounts before the funds are dispersed, which is a cold reality of federal fiscal management. This is why we are seeing such a push for people to move away from paper checks and onto the direct express card or traditional bank accounts. If you are still waiting for a paper check in the mail in 2026, you are essentially gambling with your survival. The mail delays we've seen in the first quarter of this year have been catastrophic for rural recipients, and the SSA is now officially stating that they will not even investigate a missing paper check until 10 business days have passed from the scheduled date. That is 2 weeks of silence while your pantry gets emptier and your stress levels hit the roof. The hidden danger in the April schedule involves the Medicare Part B premium deductions. Many people forget that as their Social Security check goes up, their Medicare premiums often follow suit, effectively eating away a huge chunk of that COLA increase. In April 2026, we are seeing a secondary adjustment for those who are in the higher income brackets or those who have had changes in their extra help eligibility. If you suddenly see a smaller deposit in April, it might not be a mistake. It might be the government taking back its share for healthcare. This is why you have to be your own advocate. You cannot trust that the numbers on your screen are always correct. I have seen cases where the SSA miscalculates the hold harmless provision, which is supposed to protect you from having your Social Security check decrease due to Medicare increases. If that happens to you in the April cycle, you have to be ready to fight. Beyond the dates, we have to address the rumors of a bonus check or a fourth stimulus that have been circulating on social media. I am here to tell you the cold, hard truth. As of March 2026, there is no fourth stimulus check. Any video or article telling you that the president has signed a $2,000 spring bonus for seniors is purely chasing clicks. What is real, however, is the underpayment catch-up that some recipients are seeing. This happens when the SSA realizes they owed you more money from a previous year's adjustment and they lump it into your March or April payment. While it feels like a bonus, it is actually just the government paying you back what they already owed you. If you see an extra $300 or $500 in your deposit, check your benefit verification letter online immediately to see if it is labeled as a retroactive payment. Knowing the difference between a one-time catch-up and a permanent raise is the only way to keep your budget from collapsing in May. The flow of these payments is the heartbeat of the American senior economy. When the money hits on a Wednesday, we see a massive spike in grocery store traffic and pharmacy sales. This creates a secondary problem: Wednesday inflation. Retailers know when the checks land, and in some areas, we are seeing prices on essentials creep up during the third and fourth weeks of the month to capitalize on the influx of cash. To beat the system, you have to use the knowledge of these dates to shop before the surge. If you know your check is coming on March 25th, try to stretch your February funds to buy your non-perishables on the 23rd or 24th. It sounds like a small thing, but over the course of the 2026 fiscal year, these small adjustments can save you hundreds of dollars that the government isn't going to give you back. As we look toward the end of April, we also have to keep an eye on the legislative horizon. There are ongoing debates in Washington about the long-term solvency of the trust funds. And while your March and April checks are guaranteed, the tone of the SSA notices is shifting to encourage more people to delay their retirement or return to the workforce. This subtle pressure is appearing in the informational inserts that come with your annual statements. They want you to feel the urgency of the schedule so that you remain dependent on their timeline. But by mastering this calendar, you are taking the power back. You are making sure that you are the one in control of your finances, not a bureaucrat in a Baltimore office building. We must also discuss the SSI gap in detail because it is the most dangerous part of the next 60 days. For those on supplemental security income, you usually expect your money on the 1st. But because April 1st, 2026 is a Wednesday, and there are specific processing rules for the start of the second quarter, many of you will see that payment hit on Friday, March 27th. That means you will have your April money in your pocket while it is still March. The temptation to use that money for an early Easter dinner or a spring clothing purchase is going to be immense. But if you spend it on March 28th, you will have $0 coming in for the entire month of April. You will be looking at a blackout period of nearly 35 days until your May check arrives. This is the April trap that ruins the credit scores of thousands of people every year. You must treat that March 27th deposit as if it is frozen until April 1st. The 2026 schedule is more than just a list of dates. It is a roadmap for your survival. We are seeing a shift in how the government communicates, moving away from phone calls and toward digital-first interactions. If you aren't comfortable with the online portal, now is the time to learn, because the April payment cycle is going to be the first one where paper-only recipients face a new surcharge for manual processing in certain states. This is a quiet change that hasn't made the major news networks, but it is deeply affecting those on fixed incomes. By staying informed through videos like this, you are skipping the line and getting the information that the SSA hides in the fine print. The critical takeaway for this 2026 cycle is that precision in your planning is no longer optional. It is a requirement for your financial survival. We have seen how the Social Security Administration's mechanical scheduling can create dangerous gaps, particularly with the SSI shift that moved the March payment into late February. If you are sitting here in mid-March and wondering why your mailbox is empty, you must cross-reference your birth date with the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th Wednesday rule immediately. March 11th, 18th, and 25th are the line in the sand for retirement and SSDI recipients. And if those dates pass without a deposit, you are officially in the 3-day grace period before you should trigger a formal inquiry with the SSA. As we pivot toward April, the stakes are even higher because the 2.8% COLA increase is finally being tested against the reality of rising Medicare Part B premiums. Many of you are seeing that $202.90 deduction for the first time, and it is vital that you don't mistake a healthcare adjustment for a benefit error. The system is designed to be automatic, but it is not infallible. You have to be the one checking the portal, reading every page of those simplified COLA notices, and ensuring that your earnings test limits for 2026, now set at $24,480 for those under full retirement age, aren't being breached by a part-time job or seasonal work. April is the month of accountability, where the government reconciles what they owe you with what they expect from you. The road through the rest of 2026 is going to be filled with these technical hurdles, but knowledge is your shield against the anxiety of the unknown. By staying tuned to these updates, you are ensuring that a simple calendar shift or a digital processing delay doesn't catch you off guard. We are in this together, monitoring every batch and every federal notice to make sure you get the maximum benefit you earned through years of hard work. Don't let the complexity of the SSA win. Stay informed, stay prepared, and stay in control of your financial future. Final urgent step. If you found this breakdown helpful and want to ensure you're always the first to know when a payment date shifts or a new increase is announced, give this video a like right now. Your support keeps this channel alive and allows us to fight for the transparency you deserve.